Breaking news, breaking news. Sean P. Diddy Combs' mother, Janice Combs, has finally spoken out.
What's up, Ma?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
His life too much, and so I stepped in there to help adopt and raise. That's what I say. Evil is everywhere. That's a public service.
Kimora Lee is speaking out again, this time targeting Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, over how she's reportedly treated his daughters, Jessie and Delilah. Kimora isn't staying quiet. She claims Janice has been exploiting the girls for a long time, gradually exposing them to situations that aren't suitable for their age, and introducing them to older men they shouldn't be around. Even worse, sources say Diddy was aware of what was happening but didn't step in. People familiar with the situation say the girls are struggling so much that even the thought of going to college feels overwhelming. They barely managed to get through their high school graduation. Things are becoming more concerning, as there's now a possibility the girls could lose their home. If Diddy loses his legal battle, authorities might take all his assets, claiming they're tied to his alleged dirty lifestyle. The pressure is increasing every day. But Kimora isn't backing off. She considers the girls part of her family and refuses to let them be overlooked because of their father's choices. She's standing up for them and demanding that Janice Combs be held accountable. So what exactly did Kimora say about Diddy and Janice? And is she truly thinking about taking the girls in herself? Let's break down what's going on.
When this lawsuit was launched, it's probably like a couple years ago, you'll notice that that's when all of these attacks.
Diddy might be the one facing legal trouble right now, but everyone is watching his entire family. Many online think Jessie and Delilah are having the hardest time. They've been showing up in court with their siblings and relatives to appear united. But insiders say it's a move by Diddy's PR team and lawyers to make the family seem strong and supportive. Behind the scenes, things are falling apart, and the twins feel it the most. The shocking details of what Diddy is accused of have left them shaken. Sources say Chance, Jessie, and Delilah had to leave the courtroom several times, especially when a former escort testified in detail about what Diddy allegedly forced him to do with Cassie at one of the so-called Foss parties. Hearing things like that about your father would be devastating for anyone, but for two 18-year-olds who already lost their mother, it's even worse. Adding to the pain is the growing suspicion that their father, and possibly their grandmother, Janice, might have been grooming them for that same twisted environment. After Kim's passing, Janice tried to take on a motherly role for Christian and the twins, but it didn't go well. Unlike Kim, Janice reportedly encouraged Christian to follow Diddy's path and exposed the girls to a lifestyle that wasn't appropriate for their age. This ties back to old claims about Janice's influence on Diddy himself. His childhood was tough. He witnessed violence and disturbing acts early, shaping how he viewed life. His father, Melvin Combs, was a feared Harlem gang leader known for brutal behavior, even killing people in front of young Sean. In a 2006 documentary, Diddy admitted that learning about his father's crimes and violent death completely changed how he saw himself.
Growing up, my mother always told me that he had got killed in a car accident. I always thought there was something funny about the story, because whenever I was in the street or around like street hustlers or street people, they would always try to give me money or always treat me with respect. So I was like, was my father a gangster? Why do people fear my father, fear the name? I kept on hounding my family. And nobody would really tell me. They said, you gotta really talk to your mother about it. That's my first time in college. I did the research, and the research had showed me that my father was like, his brains going out like on Central Park West. And then my mother, I remember they said that my mother had brought me to the funeral of full-length chinchilla. It was like a sigh of relief, you know what I'm saying? So I finally knew that what I was feeling was true, you know?
While everything was falling apart, Janice seemed more focused on being Melvin's partner than protecting Diddy from the chaos around them. People who knew the family said she was very strict and didn't intervene when older kids bullied him. After Melvin's death, things got even harder. Janice had to manage multiple jobs just to keep the family going. During the day, she worked as a teaching assistant and also drove a school bus. But at night, sources claim she did escort work. Some even say she brought clients into their home and let young Diddy see what was happening. That experience had a lasting impact on how he grew up seeing women, including those closest to him.
Having freak-off parties in front of Diddy when he was a kid. And honestly, now hearing this, I'm really not surprised, because I always felt like Janice Combs knew more than what she's leading on. Diddy's childhood best friend is claiming that Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, would often throw wild parties at his childhood home, where it wasn't uncommon woman to walk into a room where adults were having physical relations. Diddy's childhood friend feels like this could be a reason why Diddy found himself at the center of a federal racketeering and trafficking investigation, where he is accused of forcing his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura to participate in freak-offs. He said, "I've been asked the questions, why do you think this happened to Diddy?" And
Diddy once said that as a kid, he got caught up in something that felt like an addiction and completely changed how he thought and acted. He shared that his childhood was cut short because he had to grow up too quickly, saying it ended when he was only 12. That early exposure to chaos and adult situations shaped his mind in ways he didn't fully grasp back then. Looking back, he realized how losing his innocence so early influenced his choices and relationships throughout his life, both personally and professionally.
First time I was 12, I used to watch this thing called Midnight Blue. It's like this porno channel here in New York. So the first time I had sex, I wasn't scared. I remember.
Things get even darker here. There are disturbing rumors about Diddy and his mother Janice, ones that go far beyond usual family issues. Some believe their relationship crossed serious lines. It's been claimed that Janice may have introduced Diddy to the dirty stuff he's accused of, and even participated in it with others. These claims resurfaced after an old video went viral showing Diddy kissing Janice on the lips. But the kiss wasn't what shocked people the most. In the same clip, both Diddy and Janice were hooked up to IV bags, with Diddy saying they were recharging. This drew attention because Cassie once said Diddy would give her IV fluids to help her recover after long, disturbing sessions. What made it creepier was Janice's white nail polish, something Cassie claimed Diddy always demanded before those events. He preferred white or French tip nails, so they'd stand out during the encounters he organized. It's clear Diddy inherited more than habits from Janice. He seems to have involved his children in troubling, possibly criminal situations. Both of his sons, Justin and Christian, have been named in lawsuits, and Christian is even facing a separate case with accusations similar to Diddy's. Sadly, the girls weren't spared either. Rumors suggest Janice didn't just care for the twins after Kim Porter's. She may have also started grooming them for Diddy's future plans. So when Jesse and Delilah left the courtroom in tears after hearing witness statements, people believe it wasn't only because they were upset. Some think they were triggered, realizing that if the truth hadn't come out, they might have been forced into similar situations. It also made them question whether their mother, Kim Porter, suffered the same abuse as Cassie: beatings, control, and forced procedures. Even though Diddy's kids seem calm and united in public, sources say it's just for appearances. Behind the scenes, they're quietly distancing themselves from him before everything falls apart. After finishing high school, Jesse and Delilah announced they were skipping college to focus on fashion and business, but those close to them think it's deeper than that. After everything that's happened, the thought of going to college and facing gossip about their father's scandals feels unbearable. Through all this turmoil, the one person who's remained constant for them is Kimora Lee, the late mother's best friend. She's been doing her best to honor the promise she made to Kim before she died, to take care of her children no matter what. At Kim's memorial, Kimora gave an emotional tribute, saying, "At your homegoing celebration today, it became all too real that you are not coming back. I cannot stop crying, but I will be strong for you." Gone way too soon. She called Kim her sister and said the children would always be family, promising to protect them. Diddy and Janice haven't made that easy. Reports say they've gone out of their way to keep Kimora away, especially from the twins. Many believe they were worried that if the girls spent too much time with her, they'd begin questioning their past and asking tough questions about what really happened to their mother.
Not really sure, but I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. Again, I'm sitting here with my kids in my house. Easy to find me, not running, not hiding, not doing any of that. And so to have these constant attacks.
It didn't stop with Diddy and Janice keeping Kimora away from the twins or blocking her children from seeing them. Reports say Kimora was also bullied and threatened many times. The constant stress affected her so much that she disappeared from social media and stayed quiet for months. When she finally returned online, it was not long after Cassie filed her lawsuit against Diddy. Soon after, Kimora shared a cryptic message on her Instagram story that said, "As you sow, so shall you reap." Many people believed it was directed at Diddy and the drama surrounding him. Then something shocking happened. Just a few days after that post, Kimora's house caught fire while she and her kids were still inside. Thankfully, everyone got out safely, but the incident left people very unsettled. The cause of the fire hasn't been revealed, but its timing raised serious concerns. People began to question whether it was just a tragic accident or something much darker. Since it happened so soon after she seemed to speak out against Diddy, some suspected it might have been a warning. The idea that Kimora could have been targeted for refusing to stay quiet spread quickly online. Many fans think it wasn't just coincidence, that it was meant to intimidate her into silence about what she might know, whether the fire was deliberate or not. It left Kimora shaken and reminded everyone how dangerous it can be to speak out against powerful people. Even though she hasn't directly named anyone, her timing and actions made many believe she knows more than she's saying, and that someone wanted to make sure she stayed silent.
Lee Simmons' house then caught on fire, and people are blaming Diddy. We put the word out on, said, be careful, Kimora. We warned her, and Lord, her house actually caught on fire. This is amazing.
Thankfully, no one was hurt in the fire, but Kimora seemed to get the message loud and clear. Someone wanted her to step away from Diddy's problems and stop supporting Cassie. She recognized the warning signs because this wasn't the first time Diddy had used intimidation to get his way. Back in 2004, during an interview with New York Magazine, Kimora revealed that Diddy once threatened to hit her while she was pregnant. The report described a heated exchange where Diddy made the threat, and Kimora calmly responded, "I was pregnant." The same article noted that Diddy later got down on his knees in public to apologize. Even then, Kimora said, "I respect him as a driven businessman, and I see that everything he does is copying my husband." That incident happened years before Kim Porter's death, but it shows Kimora had already seen sides of Diddy that few others had talked about. Her comment about him copying her ex-husband, Russell Simmons, also raised eyebrows, especially since Russell has faced several accusations of sexual assault and violence against women. It created a disturbing connection between two powerful men she once knew, both now linked to similar scandals. Despite everything, Kimora hasn't stepped back from supporting Kim Porter or her children. She has continued caring for them and staying emotionally present for the twins, even when Diddy and Janice tried to block her. People close to her say, she feels a strong responsibility to keep the promise she made to Kim before she died, to always protect and care for her kids. Now that Diddy's legal troubles are escalating and more shocking details are coming out, Kimora seems even more determined to be there for the girls. She has seen enough to understand how damaging their environment has been and wants to make sure they aren't pulled further into it. Her silence about the fire and past threats says a lot. Those who know her believe she's being careful, protecting herself and her children while watching the ongoing investigation. She knows speaking out too boldly could put her or the kids at risk again, but her actions show she isn't turning her back on the truth. As Diddy's world continues to unravel in court, questions remain about who else should be held responsible. Will Janice step in again to keep Kimora away from the twins? And if she does, will she finally face consequences for her role in everything that has come to light? What's certain is that Kimora isn't done fighting. Her loyalty to Kim Porter's memory and her determination to protect the twins show she's ready to stand firm, no matter how much pressure comes her way.